Your attention, please. Any audience members caught giggling like frat boys whilst Pinkie Pie insists that Rainbow Dash eat her pie will be ejected from the review without a refund. I'm looking at you, Thunderlane. Okay, that's it. You're out of here. The rest of you, be mature and snicker internally. That is all.
Pie baking is more art than science.
Ooh, Edward Elric is gonna have a field day with you, Pinkie.
You know what they say, alchemy was born in the kitchen.
But I digress. When the description for this episode first hit the net, I thought to myself, really? I mean, really? There's nothing wrong with this premise, but I wondered how one could fill out a full 22-minute episode. Well, serves me right for underestimating the pink one. Let's talk about doing things better, like the Wonderbolts. Wonder of wonders, Spitfire actually pays Rainbow Dash a compliment.
You really added that sparkle to that pressure diamond drop.
The Wonderbolts haven't been the most relatable troop, unless perhaps you've served in the military yourself, so a simple act of respect is very welcome to the rest of the audience. And they'll be part of the story in a small way. But the real focus is Pinkie's worldview crumbling, as she suspects Rainbow Dash doesn't like her pies. Dang it, Thunderlane, I told you to vamoose! Now part of the story begins with a contrivance. Why in the world would Rainbow throw away a perfectly good pie with inside of the pony who made it? That's just bad planning. So we follow Pinkie Pie down an existential piscis as she recounts all the times Rainbow Dash maybe ate her pies.
Unless Rainbow Dash has been replaced by an imposter who throws delicious pies away!
Well, that did happen to both Rainbow and Cadence, so kinda surprised Pinkie didn't follow up on that idea. What we do get is the return of Sherlock Pinkie, who took her lessons to heart and actually investigates her suspicions, giving us not only a chance to see some extra characters like Cheerilee and Dr. Fauna, but even flashing back to Rainbow's birth anniversary from Pinkie Pride. Know what we call that? Continuity. And it is impressive how fast Rainbow can improvise a way to eliminate the pies unnoticed. Turns out it benefits just about every pony around them. Although I have to say, pony villains are made of stern stuff.
It's not even my birthday!
If random stuff got thrown at me, my reaction would be more... No! Yeah, that. But anyway, we get to follow Pinkie every step of the way as she interviews and gathers information. Then we follow through phase 2 as she tries to force an answer. The thing that makes this worthwhile is that Pinkie dials everything to 11. It doesn't matter if it's a simple form of questioning or daydream, she doesn't do anything by half measures. Also, the puns help.
Perhaps it's a pie pandemic.
I have a very detailed piling system.
No matter how you slice it, we are dealing with upper crust humor. This of course leads to the lie revealed and Pinkie's breakdown, which has been building all episode. I can't say this episode added anything new to Pinkie. We know from the past that the fastest way to bring her down is to make her feel rejected. It does, however, speak to Rainbow Dash's growth. Compare this to Rainbow in Season 1, who had all the sensitivity of a pie pan, but now she's genuinely worried about hurting Pinkie's feelings and regrets her mistake. However, I'm not sure I'm on board with the moral.
Lying to your friends is wrong. I could have told her that.
Yes, you could have, Applejack, but you and Twilight are there as anchors of sanity from which Pinkie Pie can contrast. But in the spirit of honesty, let's all agree that we've lied to our friends at some point. Maybe it was to encourage them, maybe to protect their feelings, maybe to avoid awkwardness. The reasons are multifold, and I'm not sure that's something over which to feel guilt. But honestly, this isn't all that different from the moral that Twilight learned on her family cruise. Just as Twilight put the passengers and her family above her own well-being, Rainbow has been putting Pinkie's happiness so far ahead of her own preferences that it's unintentionally caused a rift. Basically, it's an encouragement to stand up for your own interests. Not being selfish, but practicing a little self-ish-ness. I think it's clever how the two episodes can complement each other.
I guess I should have just eaten the pies in the first place.
No, that's the wrong lesson. You should have stated your choice in desserts. Not denouncing Pinkie's work, but making a clear statement of intent. There's an art to this as well, because people often assume that standing up for oneself can be expressed only through aggression. Seriously, it's like 90% of online interactions. Plus, I searched the old memory banks and couldn't recall a time I'd seen Rainbow eat a slice of pie either. As several folks on Equestria Daily's forums pointed out, Rainbow had to have at least eaten one bit of pie as part of the Sisterhood social competition. Off screen, of course. But all that really says to me is that her drive to win overrides her own preferences. Not exactly a world-shaking realization. What I really want to know is what kind of disaster Rainbow Dash must be in the kitchen to create whatever that is. But even with the reconciliation, we're not done with this story. IDW's main comic line continued the tale as Pinkie vows to find a pie that Rainbow Dash would enjoy. It's not an unreasonable idea since the diversity of flavors can make this happen. Plus, Pinky is known to keep extensive notes on preferences. But again, Pinky doesn't do things in half measures. It reaches a boiling point where Rainbow, with Twilight's advice, turns the table and forces Pinky to do things she wouldn't enjoy, like chillaxing and listening to the latest Daring Do novel, and watching Rainbow Dash practice. One problem with that strategy, we've seen Pinky do all those things and love it. She loves sharing experiences regardless of the activity level. Her joy comes from others' joy. Plus, I thought Twilight learned not to engineer friendship lessons. These ponies are more enjoyable when they're helping, not scheming, which, oddly enough, is what Pinkie Pie did for most of the episode's second act. But by comic's end, she realizes how wrong she was to force this on Rainbow and accepts her dessert preferences with a chocolate cake. Both the episode and the comic are fun, silly, and enjoyable, though I think the episode understands these characters better. Perhaps not as memorable as the greater challenges and expressions of character in the season. A fun viewing thanks mostly to Pinkie Pie's extremes and imagination, but not something I'd hold up as a pie-in-the-sky episode. I'm Silver Quilted. Thanks for watching.